It is Tuesday. I choose me. Hashtag no more excuses. It's our Tuesday. I'm telling you, these weeks are going by so fast. This year has been going by so fast, but it's our opportunity, our time, our day to choose ourselves, to love ourselves, and to basically show up for ourselves. And so I'm giving some time for people to start getting on, because today we have another serious conversation. No, I'm not going to play it at the end. I'm going to play it a little bit after I get a couple of people on so we can hear it before I go into the conversation. Yeah, so you got some time. But yes, if you're tuning in, please say hello. Let me know you're here. But once again, y'all know it's Tuesday. It is time to I Choose Me. Hashtag no more excuses. Let's see. Hey, Sapphire +1, whoever the second one is to you. Hello. Hey, Aunt Karen. How you doing? How is everybody doing today? Hola, baby. But yes, it is Tuesday. Once again, it's I Choose Me. Hashtag no more excuses. Y'all liking my little look? I got my little, it's bad hair day, so I'm trying to rock the little scarf that matches the logo. So yeah. That's my little vibe I got going on. Hey, Aunt Karen. Thank you. But today, oh man, another powerful week. Another real conversation we got to have. I'm just grateful to, first of all, be here. I'm grateful to share the platform of I Choose Me. Hashtag no more excuses. I like to start with our motto, which is I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. And that's what the journey of I Choose Me is all about. I like to always remind everybody that it's about loving yourself to life. It's about understanding that in order for you to be your best self, you got to love who you were created to be. In order for you to bring the best out of other people, you got to first love who you were created to be, because I get to celebrate you when I'm able to celebrate me, because I'm happy of who I am. And so it's about loving our own selves to life so that we can be the amazing gifts that we were called to be. But on today, our topic for today is when are we going to recognize our power? When are we going to recognize our power? And so I got this topic because of what's going on with football, you guys. Yes, I'm talking football. Everybody know I'm not a football person, but since I've been married, I have grown to be a part of the game and enjoy the sport, to be a good team wife, right? Support him where he supports me. And so I've learned the game, and we've even made it a part of our Sundays last season. But this season, due to what's going on with Colin Kaepernick, honor to my husband, who is a die-hard football fan, who dedicated and sacrificed, so we haven't been watching the games this season because of how Kaepernick have been treated for our people, for our young men, for our young boys. And so my topic for us today was, when are we going to recognize our power? And before we go into the topic, before I touch more on the basis, well, basically, let me touch on the basis before I let y'all hear something that I just heard from, what's his name? Nick Cannon just wrote something that people sent me all through the messenger. So before we have the conversation, I'm going to play that thing, but I'm going to give y'all a short story. So basically, Kaepernick took a knee when it came to the football. Anybody who's not watching football, anybody who's under a rock, last season Kaepernick took a knee, and when asked why did he take a knee and not stand to the flag, he responded because of brutality, because of the lives that are lost, because of how our people are being treated, meaning our sons, and in some cases our daughters in America are not being treated fairly, not equally. And so he made his stance by taking a knee. Now, with him taking a knee, everybody just went crazy, right? Went crazy about him being able to decide that he didn't want to stand to the flag, all of that. Everybody just was saying, Nobody hired him. His contract was up and he did not get hired. Well, on this week, our president decided to talk smack on the Twitter, and he basically stated that anybody who doesn't stand for the flag is basically sons of bitches. He also stated in a way that said that anybody that didn't stand for the flag, whatever, that the owners were to fire these people, right? And so something very powerful happened. Fire these sons of bitches, basically what he said. And so let me bring my husband in, because he knows more about the conversation, and he's yelling at me from the outside because he's my #1 fan. So he normally is sitting here watching me as we tape. So I'm going to bring him in to be more clear on the story, because, you know, I'm giving my little bits and pieces so that I can hurry up and get to my perspective part. And so I'm going to bring him in. We're going to welcome my boo in. You want to take your, you can take your do-rag off. But we're going to welcome him in to give his perspective. But I want to give him a stand of applause for sacrificing his football season.
Oh, God, I can't.
Being a diehard fan.
I've just been watching
sacrificing his
man.
season because...
And since I ain't been watching, my team ain't won a game yet.
So, okay, so tell the people a little bit more about...
Okay, Donald Trump basically said that those people are disrespectful when they don't stand for the national anthem and for the flag. And he said that those bastards are disrespectful, and the coaches should fire all them son of a bitches that don't stand for, that's kneeling for the flag, which is ironic. It's crazy. People say, well, you know, you gotta respect our president, all that. We didn't, the people didn't, first of all, let me get you something clear. The people did not vote Donald Trump in. He got picked by the Electoral College. I don't even know who those group of white people are. They are the ones who elected Donald Trump, not the people of America. We picked Hillary. She won the popular vote. So don't get this shit twisted like people really, and it's really not that many Donald Donald, what's his name? Trump supporters.
But what I say all this to say is that all this time, before power was put into play, before Donald Trump challenged these owners' power, they said there was no reason, it was unacceptable for him to kneel on the flag. But yet, in unity, everybody decided to not stand on the flag. Well, we ain't been watching the game, but is that what happened? They didn't stand, or they got together and they didn't kneel, and so everybody stuck together for pride. And what burned my biscuits is that for a whole year, for a whole year, they wouldn't get Kaepernick a job. They treated him like there was no acceptable reason. Not that it was black lives, not that we were losing young people, not that we were being treated unequally, unfairly, and that he had the why was more important than what he was doing. But the minute that they were offended, the minute that their pride was offended, the minute they felt like somebody was telling them what to do, all of a sudden the same rules that they gave Kaepernick no longer applied to them. No. And I find that to be very interesting in the fact that why I say that we need to take our power back, why I say that we have to support one another, why I say that we got to stand together, because the one thing they do is they stand up for each other. They support one another. And when Kaepernick was going through what he was going through, before it became their problem, they didn't see what he was experiencing or what he was speaking of. But it's our problem, because we have 5 kids, and of our 5, our youngest 2 are young black males. We have to raise young black males in this world. And if we don't start to stand up now and take our power back and recognize that we decide what goes on. Now, until we hit them in their pockets, until it matters in their pockets, they won't take us seriously. And what I was saying about the football players is that it's enough of them. Why don't they just stand together? Why can't we band together? Why can't we support one another? Why can't we support our people?
Together. You ain't standing with Cap, you a sucker if you ain't in the field.
I mean, people that are in the conversation, if you know what's going on, what is your idea? What is your question?
I'm sorry. They some suckers.
What is your question? Like, how do y'all feel about what's going on? When I'm talking about taking your power back, it's recognizing that united we stand. And America has been taking a knee to us for a very long time. And it's because they have divided and conquered us by putting us against one another, by not allowing us to support one another, by giving us different brackets. You're signing out. Thank you, babe. By giving us different brackets in the world, which basically allows us to kind of go against one another and feel like we're in a competition. But I want you to understand that in order for us to get our power back, in order for us to stand on the platform in which we got to stand on, it requires us to stand up for each other. We don't have to wait for them to see our point. We got to stand up for our young people. We got to stand up for our sons. We got to stand up for our daughters. We got to stand up for our husbands and our wives and the people that are being affected. And now I speak as not just a woman, not just a I choose me, but as a black woman with sons, a black woman with a husband. I'm speaking from that perspective about us unifying and us understand that when they hurt one of us, they hurt all of us. Us understanding that when they wouldn't give him a job, I mean, it's a little sacrifice. That's why I took my hat off to my husband, because I know how important it is for him to watch football. I know how that is everything it is. But when he took a stand this season and said that I won't support it until they start to see us, I won't support it until they give that black man a job, I won't support it until they recognize that we got needs too. And so in life, in any area of your life, you have to understand that in order for you to be great, in order for us to show up, we got to stand up for one another. And that is why the I choose me, no more excuses is so important. Because until we stand up for ourselves, until we learn to love ourselves individually, until we learn to show up for ourselves on the level in which we were created to, we won't have the ability to show up for one another. We won't have the ability to change the lives that we were designed to change. We won't have the ability to be able to say, I won't tolerate that. We got to stop chasing the dollar bill. We got to start unifying. We got to start supporting. We got to stop hating on each other. We got to start building each other. And we got to start recognizing that without you, there is no me. I'm loving that a lot of stars are coming out. LeBron. Oh, love LeBron to death. I'm telling you, because he has always stood for something. And that's what it requires. It requires you to understand that to whom much is given, much is required. And what Kaepernick did, he stood up on something that he didn't have to. Like, he was in a different bracket. He was experiencing a different lifestyle. But he had the empathy and the sympathy to recognize what we were lacking. And so in the community of us that are lacking, the community of us that need the support, the community of us that are going without being heard or being treated any old kind of way, it's time for us to stand together and unite so that we can get the respect that we are deserved. But until we support one another, until we link up, till we become those links that cannot be broken, people will continue to sit down on us. People will continue to kill our children, kill our husband, kill our wives. This will continue to happen in America because they don't think that we value who we are. And that's why it's time out for showing them that we don't value. We value each other. We value our lives. Let's start showing and operating in that realm. Let's start recognizing that until I show up for me, until I love me, until I support me, I will miss what the journey is all about. Until I make people accountable for what they say and do to me. It don't matter what the paycheck is. People say that all the time. Well, that's the paycheck. Well, they've been getting millions of dollars for a long time. When are you going to stand for something? Because the millions of dollars that you're getting, the levels that people are on where they are on a level where they are experiencing wealth, it is because of the people. Without the many of people that sit at your feet, without the many of people that support you, without the many of people, the little people down here who are affected by the laws, who are affected by these situations, we are the people who you should speak for. And so what Kaepernick is doing is amazing. And so while we're showing love to everybody else, let's show love to him. Because he did it when nobody else was looking. He did it when it wasn't about his pride. He did it for a why. When you guys start to live in your why, then people can celebrate your intention of what you're doing. And so I celebrated him because of his intention. We were willing to sacrifice because of his intention. And his intention was to recognize that the why mattered. And what the why is you. It's me. It's our brothers and sisters. It's the people that we are losing for nothing because they think they can. That is what the why is. And so until we can love ourselves, until we can unite with one another, until we can lift each other up, we will continue to get walked on. And America will continue to take a knee on who we are and what we represent. Because we got to start representing each other better. We got to start lifting each other up. We got to start really supporting each other. When it costs us. When it costs us something. A sacrifice means it's going to cost you something. And so what are we willing to sacrifice for our future? What are we willing to sacrifice to deserve the great riches or the great pleasures that the world have to offer? What have you sacrificed? And so the question is, let's support one another. The answer is let's support one another. And let's remember the slogan, which is love grows everything. And so just because I don't understand where you're coming from, just because I haven't walked down the road you walked down, doesn't mean that I don't see your pain. Doesn't mean I don't see your troubles. Doesn't mean that I can't lift you up. Doesn't mean I can't hold your hand. We got to begin to hold each other's hands even when the story doesn't belong to us. Because the universe and God has a way of making the story match your description. And so if you want somebody to show up for you, it's time for you to start showing up for somebody's. Start showing up for somebody's. And so at this time, I am going to share my poem for the week, which is titled, Grab Your Power. When will you rise up in your power because you understand the royalty in your name? Did you know that you were already somebody, even without the title of your fame? That everywhere you step, you can be famous in the room. For when you show up in your power, darkness can never loom. Can you stop for a moment to look through someone else's eyes? To understand one's struggle and listen to their instrumentable cries. When will we unite and recognize together we win? And start to bring our masterpieces so life can truly begin? Why must I wait until it's my pain before I ever notice your blood stain? The stains of your journey that I refuse to see because I was so busy thinking it had nothing to do with me. But what I didn't notice was that you already fought in the war, then came out through a storm. And you're just trying to prepare me so my battle won't last as long. When we begin to put ourselves in each other's story, support will ring true. Because because we will then understand for a moment how it may feel to be you. There is power in unity that can't be described. It's the essence of what purpose was meant to provide. Live with purpose and intentions that magnifies love, and your life will always resemble the dreams you created from above. And so what I want us to understand is that in order for us to be great, and I say this as a black woman, I say this as a black woman with, like I said, a husband that's black. I say it with a black woman with two black males that I'm raising up that are only 7 years old, and that this is the world we're leaving to them. And so we don't begin to stand for little things. We're going to leave them with big problems. If we don't begin to make sacrifices now that cost us little, then we're going to pay big for what might cost us much. It is up to us to recognize that to whom much is given, much is required. And that you in your own right is a star anytime you stand in the room. And so we must, like on Karen said, we must have empathy to understand that it does not have to be my story for me to see your pain. It does not have to be my journey for me to hold your hand. I don't have to frown upon it because I don't understand it. I have to embrace you and recognize you because I gotta help you through it. I have to hold your hand. I have to support you. I have to celebrate you. And I have to say, I see you. And so we have to begin to start to see each other. We got to begin to start to support each other. We got to begin to start to come together as a people. The one thing we are missing is that unity. We have been broken apart for so long that it's so easy for us to turn our cheek. It's so easy for us to feel like we don't have the support. And I'm talking about a lot of the black players. A lot of the black players stood up there and said, oh no, it's the flag, and I would never sit down on the flag. But on Sunday, they stood down on the flag. You wasn't willing to support your brother in sitting down, but you're willing to support the coach and the owner and everybody else because you didn't want to stand for something. I know it's a big a big price to pay, but if y'all unified together, they can't fire everybody. You got to understand that you have power. They use us for so many things. I just saw a video the other day of a lady talking about if you wanted us to go back, if you want us to take our stuff back to where we came from, we would leave America with nothing as black people. We have brought so much. We got to start recognizing that we deserve what we're asking for. We deserve an opportunity to be seen. We deserve equality. We deserve everything that Kaepernick is standing for. And so we got to support him because he is supporting us. We got to support him because he is on a platform in which he is able to get the word out. And so those of you that sit on platforms who are speaking out, I applaud you. I celebrate you. And I ask that you don't stop talking. I ask that you don't let this one situation get swept under the rug. I ask that you continue to keep on keeping on. I ask that you continue to speak for us and stand up for the little people who may not get to have the voice that you guys have. When they say to whom much is given, much is required, it is your job to stand up for us. Because we the people got you there. We the people are the reason why people know your name. It takes people to get notoriety. You don't become famous. You don't become everything you are without us, the people. And so remember the little people that are dying out there when you decide to not stand. Remember the little people when you have other things that you could do that can support unity. Go in those communities and reach out to these kids. Go in these places and show them there's another way. Tell them your stories. Let's build them up. And stop allowing people to kill us. Because we're waiting on our 50 mule. We're waiting on all these different things. It's time for us to show up for each other. It's time for us to show up for each other. It is time for us to show up for each other. Until we stand up for ourselves, to then be able to stand up for one another, we will never get our rightful place. We will never get the respect that we deserve. We will never get what our ancestors fought for. We're still fighting for the same things. You know why? Because they are conquering and dividing us by making us feel like because you're up here, you're more important than the people down here. We are all just as important. We all want the dream of abundance. We all are waiting for something to manifest and that life will happen. But we all will have the same responsibility. We all will have the same responsibility. So let's be responsible for one another. Let's be responsible to one another. Let's understand that love grows everything. And when you operate in love, life happens. When you operate in love, you get results. And when we operate in unity, we'll change the world. We'll change the way they treat us because we demand that be so. So let's start making strides toward that. Let's start walking in that light. Let's start walking in that truth. Giadora says we must see each other's greatness even if it's in as small as a smile. Absolutely. Even if it's as small as a smile, right? There was this one amazing story. Oprah said one time, I'm a big fan of Oprah. Anybody know I love me some Oprah. But when she was young, she said there was this young lady that made a difference in her life because never did somebody tell her how beautiful she was. But on this particular day, this lady looked at her and said, you're as beautiful as a speckled pup. That is what I'm talking about. It's about us empowering each other by just saying, I see you. It's about us empowering each other by just saying, I love you. It's about us empowering each other by just saying, I celebrate you. I'm saying that I want the best for you. And wanting the best for you doesn't mean I want anything less for me. It means that we all can have. When we get on the mind frame that we all can have and we all can celebrate and we all can live in that same abundance, when we all accept that and want to take and understand that it don't have to be no levels of greatness, and that you could be great in your own right, in your own light, in your own life, and that is available to us all, and that we should want it for each other. It costs us nothing to want the best for each other. But I do understand it requires us to want the best for ourselves first. Because I can't want more for you than I want for myself. I can't dream bigger for you than I'm willing to dream for myself. And so I am encouraging you. And I'm asking you. And week to week I'm inspiring you to love you for you. Love you for the amazing person that you are. Love yourself for the gift that you are. So that you can become the gift to the world. So that you can bring your masterpiece. So that you can support your brother and sister. So that we can be who we were created to be. We were born into royalty, y'all. And we're letting people steal our crowns. Let's get our crowns back. By understanding that in order for us to have crowns, in order for us to live in purpose, in order for us to live in our greatness, we got to support our brothers and sisters, because we are a community. We are a family. We are a tribe. And together we make a difference. So let's stop thinking that we don't need each other. There's never been anything further from the truth. Show up where you can show up. Be who you need to be. Love how you need to love. But most importantly, love yourself first. Because you teach people how to treat you. And until you're willing to stand up for you, you will not be able to stand up for anybody else. So let's get our spirits together. Let's get our souls together. Let's get our lives together so that we can show up in a magnitude in which we were designed to show up in. And so at this time, Gigi said, we are who we've been waiting for. Absolutely. We are who we've been waiting for. I say that all the time. I say that I love that thing, because what it boils down to is that we're waiting on you. The world is waiting on you. And when you show up for you and everybody else shows up for them, then everybody comes correct. And when everybody comes correct, we are ready to build. Work on you so that when we link up, we can build together. Work on you and love yourself so when we link up, we can support each other. Work on you and build yourself so that when we link up, we can be what this world is supposed to be. And until we get our communities together, we won't be able to come together as a world. Let's unify individually so that we can unify collectively, and that we can give something, we can leave something in the world worth having, which is love. Because like we say, love grows everything. And so at this time, if there's no questions, if there's no comments, I just want to say that we are our worst enemy. And nobody can stop you from your greatness but you. And what I'm here to do is to show you and to help you see that you deserve what life has to offer you. To help you see that you deserve to come out of your pain and into your power. To help you see that you can support each other into your greatness. To help you see that love grows everything. And so I like to end this week, as always, with our motto, which is I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. That's what the journey of I Choose Me is all about. It's about understanding that until I can embrace my yesterday, I can't show up in today to be the best I can be for tomorrow. I inspire my own change in my own life, in my own world, by how I see myself. And so if I see myself great, then I will show up and be great. And then I would magnify and I will exhort greatness from you when I meet you. And so let's all bring our best selves. Let's all show up in a room and bring our best parts so that we together can be the light. We together can shine bright, and we together can change the generation that we have coming behind us. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you next week. And I just want you to understand and always remember, love grows everything. So love yourself first so that you have space, energy, and time to love each other to life. So that we can show up in our greatness, in our truth, and bring our peace. And let's not forget that we were all born enough. Love you. Until next Tuesday, I choose me. Hashtag no more excuses because you were born enough.